Now, we've spoken about the greatness of Geelong, the greatness of Joel Selwood and Chris Scott and Isaac Smith. We need to address the elephant in the room, that being the Sydney Swans.
Yeah, it is, TJ, and the fallout from it will be significant. I played in the grand final where we got smashed and it wrecked the club for a good 5 to 6 years. I'm not suggesting that's going to happen at Sydney because the demographic of their group, they've got enough quality and enough youngsters to bounce back quickly. But a big discussion point will be Buddy Franklin. 2 of his worst games in the whole of his career have come in this final series. Firstly, badly beaten against Stephen May, and yesterday just had the butterfingers early, wasn't reading the ball in flight, and whilst there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity for him, he's clearly not the same player that he was and has signed that 1-year contract extension, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out for him and the club next year.
And unfortunately for him, Kane, that was his 4th grand final loss. He's 3rd as a Swan, and he also lost at Hawthorn in 2012 as well. So he's won the 2, lost the 4. It just goes to show a guy who's going to be a legend of the game, I would think, at a very early stage, once he retires, has now lost double the amount of grand finals he's won.
He had a really solid year. He kicked his 50 goals, but Lee Matthews made a great point, I thought, after the game. He said that his athleticism has allowed him to play as like a running mobile forward, but now he hasn't got that anymore. He has to play like a key forward for the rest of his career, and that's not what he is. So they played Jack Henry on him yesterday, who's got the mobility to go with him, but then he hasn't got the aerial ability. So it's going to be a real challenge for him next year. He has to play like a Jonathan Brown or a Carey in his last year, which he isn't because he can't move like he used to. So, yeah, he was totally within his rights to go on, but you hate seeing players really struggle in their final year.
And I hate this too because John Longmire is one of the nicest blokes you would ever want to meet in football, and obviously a bloody good coach as well. But it's a little bit like shooting Bambi at the moment because we need to have a look at his performance.
Oh, you do, and we'll hear from him in just a moment's time, TJ. He's taking the blame for it, but you're right. I mean, the guys before discussed the decision he made to take Sam Reid into the game. It's his 3rd grand final loss now too, consecutively, 2014, 16 and now 2022, and having won 2012. But yeah, post-match, all blame on him when they put up their worst performance of what was otherwise a very good season.
Oh, yeah, we really let ourselves down, our supporters down, no question. I mean, from the first bounce, the game looked as foreign as what we'd played it this year. There was no element that we got right. We just buggered it up today.
What?
Hey, they were off. They were absolutely off. Came within minutes. I thought they were in trouble from pretty much the first. They had the first 3 entries. It was repeat entries. They owned field position within minutes. It was over.
Yeah, they couldn't exit the ball out of their defensive 50. It was just coming back in, and Geelong set it up exactly how they would like to. They had Stanley going behind the ball. Blixhouse, we all knew it was going to happen, but Sydney just froze and they couldn't deal with it.
They kept putting the extra number up around the football, Sydney, but they still couldn't win the clearances. They were getting smashed in contested footy as well.